You are 6 years old, you don't know what a percentage is yet. You just know that when you bring the report card home, your mother reads it standing up, not sitting down. And that the sitting down kind of day is a good day, and the standing up kind is not. You haven't done anything wrong. You got 88 out of 100. You think that's good. You learn in about 4 seconds that it isn't the number that matters, it's the other number. The one belonging to a boy named Rohan who got 94 and who you have never spoken more than 10 words to in your life. Rohan got 94. That's it. That's the whole sentence. Nobody explains who decided Rohan's marks were the unit of measurement for yours. Nobody has to. You will hear some version of this sentence about some version of Rohan for the next 20 years. You start doing something you don't have a word for yet. Flinching, slightly, at the sound of another child's name. Your coaching class pins weekly test scores to a notice board, ranked, with names printed clearly enough to read from across the room. You learn to read the board sideways, quickly, the way you'd check a scoreboard you didn't want to be seen checking. Your name is somewhere in the middle. It is always somewhere in the middle. Middle feels worse than last, somehow, because last has an excuse and middle has none. Your mother waits outside the gate every week to see the board before you've even walked out. You watch her read it through the railing before she looks at you. Class rank appears on the report card now, a number next to your name. You're 7th. Somebody is first. You don't know their marks. You know their rank. That's worse, somehow, a rank has nowhere to hide. 7th means 6 specific people beat you, and you can name every one of them without trying. At home, marks stop being about you and start being about a hierarchy of cousins. Your aunt's son is compared to you at every single family visit, out loud, in front of both of you, like a cricket score being read. Your older sibling was the disciplined one. You are, by comparison, the one who needs to focus more. A phrase you hear so often it stops sounding like an opinion and starts sounding like a fact about you, filed somewhere official. Nobody ever asks whether the two of you actually think differently, learn differently, want different things. There's only one shape in this house, and you're being measured against how well your sibling filled it first. At dinner, your sibling's exam schedule gets discussed in detail. Yours gets mentioned, briefly, as an afterthought, in the same tone you'd use to confirm a delivery has arrived. The comparison sharpens. It's no longer just Rohan, or your sibling. It's specific, current, and delivered with a phone in hand. Sharma auntie's son got 95 in the unit test. Show me yours. You show her yours. She doesn't say anything. The silence is the grade. You start keeping your own report card a half second longer in your bag before handing it over, buying time you don't know what to do with. You notice, for the first time, that the scrutiny isn't evenly distributed. Your cousin, a boy, a year younger, brings home a report card worse than yours and it's waved off with, boys mature later. Your own report card, marginally better, still gets read standing up. You don't have language yet for what you're noticing. You just know the same number means two different things depending on whose name is on the page. The house reorganizes itself around you. Your sibling's birthday gets moved back a week so it doesn't distract from the boards. The television goes silent. Relatives call not to talk to you, but to ask your mother how your preparation is going, as if preparation were a medical condition with visible symptoms. Your tuition teacher starts comparing you to a batch of students you've never met, one of whom apparently got a perfect score. You have never met the student. You already resent them. Your cousin who moved abroad 2 years ago sends photos of a school trophy and a report card with a grading system nobody in the family fully understands but is certain must be more impressive than yours. Foreign syllabus, someone says, nodding, as if that settles something. It becomes a new, unbeatable standard. You can't outscore a system nobody in the room can actually read. You start to notice that the comparison was never really about a fair contest. It just needed a name to attach itself to. This is the exam that decides everything. Nobody explains what everything means exactly, only that it is a lot and that you are now the custodian of it. Your rank in a national entrance exam becomes a number relatives will remember for years, longer in some cases than they'll remember your name correctly. You watch your best friend's parents throw a party for his mock test score. You watch your own parents watch you watch that. The number arrives on a screen, refreshed 40 times in 10 minutes. Your phone starts ringing before you fully processed what you're looking at. Not because anyone's called you yet, but because the family group has already begun asking your mother in real time before she's had a chance to tell you first. If the number is good, the calls come fast, congratulatory, performed. If the number isn't, the phone goes quiet in a very specific way. Not silent, just quieter, fewer calls, shorter ones, a kind of triage happening on the other end that nobody names. You're living inside the number now. The college it bought you, or the college it didn't. The stream you were pushed toward because the number technically qualified you for it, whether or not anyone asked if you wanted it. At a family function, someone asks what you're studying. You say it. They nod in a way that tells you exactly where your answer ranks against the cousin who got into the good college, the one whose name comes up unprompted, the one everyone still measures against. Your first job offer arrives, and within a day, it has already been converted into a comparison you didn't ask for. Your starting salary set quietly against the topper cousins, the one from tier 3, the one who's now 4 years into the good college. Nobody says the number out loud in front of you. You just notice how the congratulations for your offer are shorter, slightly, than the congratulations his family received when he got into that college. The cousin who talked, the one whose name has been the measuring stick since you were 9, gets into the most competitive college in the country. For a full year, he is the family's proof that the entire system works exactly as promised. Marks in, life out. 2 years later, at a family lunch, you overhear him on the phone in the corridor, voice low, telling someone he's failed the same core subject twice and hasn't told his parents. He sees you. He doesn't ask you to keep it quiet. He just says, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be good at anymore, and goes back inside before anyone notices he stepped out. You realize, standing there, that the number never measured what anyone said it measured. It measured how well a person could produce a number. Nobody ever built a way to measure what happens after. Every relative who ever read your report card standing up was comparing you to a number that was never actually about you. It was about them, about whether they could produce a child who outproduced someone else's child at a family gathering in front of witnesses. The comparison was never really about your education. It was a performance of parenting, staged using your marks as the prop. You think about Rohan, the boy from age 6 whose name you flinched at for years. You don't actually know what happened to Rohan. Nobody in your family has mentioned him in over a decade. He served his purpose, and then the family simply picked someone else's son to measure you against next, your sibling, then your cousin, then a stranger's report card from abroad, then a batch of tuition students you never met, swapping the measuring stick as casually as you'd swap out a worn tool for a newer one. You are 25. Nobody asks about your marks anymore. They ask about your salary instead, using the exact same tone, the exact same comparisons, the exact same relative who used to say, Rohan got 94. You've started to wonder if the marks were ever really about your education at all, or just the first draft of a scoreboard that was always going to follow you somewhere else.